before bikes, there were cars. And ever since I bought my first car, that very first drive alone, it wasn't just about going somewhere. It was about becoming someone. At the time, I didn't realize how much being behind the wheel would carve a path I'd follow for the rest of my life. Because to me, cars were more than just transport. Just like motorcycles, they could be an extension of who you are. They could be an expression. I'm going to take you on a journey, a car guy journey. A dream that's burned inside of me for years, pulling me forward, daring me to chase it. And today, that chase ends, and the dream begins. It's the early 2000s. Fast and the Furious just lit a fire in you, and the night run is waiting. The iPod's loaded, empty streets, no destination, just the drive in this. This was my first car. It was a 1988 R31 Silhouette Skyline that I picked up for $1,000. The Skyline was pretty banged up when I bought it. $1,000, what do you expect? It's my first car. But it had this in it, the RB30. It's a pretty popular engine amongst JDM fans, especially here in Australia, because it is also in the VL Commodore. Such a good, strong, reliable, strong, fast, powerful, reliable engine. And one that I soon became pretty well acquainted with, because I brought this Skyline as a project build. I wanted to bring this JDM, well, ADM beast back to life. This spark in mechanical curiosity led me to begin my automotive career as an auto electrician. The auto electrical skills I had learned became tools I carried with for years, and ones that I still draw on throughout my motorcycle career. And after quite a bit of work, the Skyline was complete. It wasn't too shabby for my first backyard project on an apprenticeship's budget. But once I finished my apprenticeship, I decided to change career paths and pursue another passion of mine, music. Before I knew it, station wagons were my friend, and sadly, I had to say goodbye to the Skyline. I started playing guitar at the age of 7, then transitioned to bass guitar in high school, then started my degree in music performance, majoring in double bass. That's that huge cello-looking thing. And I had a pretty successful career. I toured with many international artists, some that you may have heard of. Played on X Factor, played on The Voice, played on TV many, many times, and I toured the world. It was fantastic. Living the rock and roll dream, I wanted a rock and roll car, and bought this 1978 HZ Kingswood. Centerline auto drag rims, 253 V8. This thing was gangster, and it sounded awesome. I bought it unregistered, and it needed quite a bit of work done to it before it could be put back on the road. So I rewired it, I dialed in the 253, got it back on the road and drove it for a solid 6 months. Had some really, really cool road trips with it, made some good memories. But that's when I realized it was a major restoration project and would need to be taken off the road once again. The problem was, I was living in a tiny Sydney apartment. No space, no money, no resources. And being a major restoration, it needed a proper workshop. So for the next 12 years, while I was living out my dream as a session musician, it sat dormant at Mum's house. Every visit, a reminder of my love for cars and the dream of one day bringing it back to life. Beauty. The itch to build something was lingering. If only there was something that was smaller than a car and cheaper to build. If only there was something. That's when I bought my first bike, the 94 SRV 250, and I built this thing in the tiny little car space that was behind my apartment into this wicked looking cafe racer. with a Thruxton influence, of course. I was a big old fan, and it turned out pretty cool. I wish I still had that bike. That was awesome. And we all know where this leads. The birth of Moto Feelz. Another change of career path that would soon lead to being a full-time YouTuber. I left Sydney to chase the car guy dream. I rented a warehouse in Melbourne and began turning it into a workshop. A space to work on my car and bike builds, create videos, and even play music. The dream of having my own space had now become a reality. We had the HZ shipped from Sydney to Melbourne, and I finally got to work on it for the first time in over 13 years. Until...
This is tough. This is a struggle. I've been needing to pack up everything, or at least start the pack up, for like 3 days now, and I just can't get motivated to do it. There's no excitement behind this.
Having to pack up and leave my dream space was heartbreaking.
I can't believe this is the last time I'm walking down the stairs. It's just hard, you know, like, man, I was only getting started here, far out. It's just tough when you have a dream and it's real, it's there, you got it in your hands, and it just didn't work out. I just can't believe it. It's ridiculous.
And so was seeing the HZ go back into storage once again.
This is the new garage space. It's a little bit tighter than the warehouse. I do very much so miss it, but it works. It's functional.
As optimistic as I was, I knew it was going to be a while until I was going to be able to live out the warehouse dream again. My interest for adventure riding and camping and exploring was on the rise, and so I wanted to get a vehicle that I could build into an overlanding machine. And although the garage space was fine for filming and working on my bikes, things were a little bit tight once the Jeep was in. I made another interstate move, this time to South Australia, and this time shipped the HZ over from Melbourne myself, only to be stored at Mum's again. I began to get into sim racing and started refining my driving skills.
Come and hop in my Porsche, guys. So we're in the Porsche GT3 on the Nürburgring in the rain because I'm prepping for an endurance race this weekend. But this is my full-on rig, guys. And how good's this? Quad lock mag charger, wireless as well. So yeah, just chuck it on there and then she starts charging. This I just put on the other day. So this is like one of my favorite little mods right now, as well as my little fan here. Biggest fan.
What I love about Quadlock is how universal it is. I've been rolling with Quadlock since 2018 and the same system just works. Bike, car, pushy, now sim rig. And it's rock solid, so I'll never have to worry about my phone. I just upgraded to the iPhone 17 Pro, so straight out of the box, I threw on the tempered glass screen protector and impact case. Ready for years of proper use and abuse. If you want to set yourself up, hit the link in the description below. I've got a 10% discount code waiting for you. Back to this rig.
Got my haptic feedback, that's the butt kicker. And that's it down here, so this gives vibration through the seat and everything. Got my heat shift there, can do manual with clutch, PC, keyboard, triple monitor setup. So it's pretty immersive. Now this is something that I have built up on over the years. I didn't want to spend too much money. I didn't want to invest too much straight away, just in case I wasn't going to use it, or it was just going to be a thing that I'd use every now and then and not be too invested in it. But man, I love practicing my driving on this, and it translates so real to the real thing, because iRacing is arguably one of the closest simulators you can get to a real race car and racetrack. My speaker's wigging out. What's going on here? There we go. Fix.
After dialing in my skills on the sim rig, it was time to test myself for real. Jenna hooked me up with 2 driving days while I was in the Philippines. Day 1, drift training with pro driver Mark Bernardo. A throwback to my Skyline days, but this time with world-class coaching.
The only drifting experience I've had is way back when I had my very first car, my R31 Skyline. Whenever it rained, I'd head out and just have a bit of fun, you know. Nothing like this though. I've never been to an actual serious track.
So right now, let's just get a feel of like what you remember from honing.
I reckon, exactly, my hoon days. And what's super weird for me is the shifter obviously on this side. In Australia, we sit on that side.
Drive.
So I've never driven a manual with my right hand before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can do like the rolling start, or if you want to do from a standstill like what we just did, just feel it out just so we know what you're comfortable with, what you want to do.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Holy sh! On that one, it was just a counter steer. That was the problem.
I felt it.
After getting a feel for the car, it all started coming back to me. By the end of the day, I was feeling pretty comfortable with the car sitting sideways. Now, it was time to keep the car straight.
We are at the Batangas Racing Circuit, BRC, in the Philippines, and I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm doing a track course. Back at home I do iRacing, so I've got a bit of an idea, but this is going to be completely different because, of course, it's the real deal, baby. That is the sound of a radical, so I'm sharing the track with one of those things, which is going to be interesting. Did my first little session. It feels good. Compared to iRacing, it's a completely different beast, man. It's all the inertia stuff that you're just not used to. I feel like I don't trust the tires or the car yet, but you know, it'll come in time.
Woo! Being coached by Lex and Jam meant that each time I went out, the faster I got. And by the end of the day, I pulled off a time that I was pretty happy with.
Those were some of your best laps, and the engine notes were right, you know, because after doing it so many times, I already know from the sound of the engine if you're braking at the right time, and it sounded like music to my ears.
Oh, awesome! That's what I want to hear. Yeah, that was wicked, man.
Can I say what time I did?
Fastest recorded was a 218.
218, which is apparently pretty impressive for a first track day, which I'm really happy with.
Big shout out to Jam and Lex from TrackX for having me, and yes, these episodes will be published very soon. This is a car that I've always dreamed of owning since my R31 days. Now they may look similar, but this is a 1986 HR31 Skyline GDS that I only just bought this year. It's a 2-litre turbo, 2-door variant of the naturally aspirated 3-litre R31 that I had, and being almost 40 years old, these things are becoming quite rare to find. The body and interior are in pretty good condition, but it's been sitting around for such a long time, and with almost everything being original, means that almost everything needs replacing. And with the family growing, the space was shrinking. Something had to change.
This is a steering wheel I've always dreamed of having in here. And I finally picked one up last year, and this is the first time I actually get to put it in the car after 14 years. So this is a pretty cool moment for me.
The old girl, she's getting relocated once again. It's been around. Now it's time to take it somewhere new. Welcome to the FEELZ Garage. This is a space for my cars, for my bikes, and for the stories that I've been waiting years to tell. I haven't been here for long. I've only just started moving a few little things in here, but I want to keep the space pretty empty still because Jenna and I have been working on the mezzanine layout and it's going to be huge. Studio space, workshop, hoist, bike hoist, camping section, full hang section. I'll be documenting everything and sharing it with you guys, as well as the car builds, the bike modifications. I can't believe the time has actually come now where I can start working on my machines. If you're here for the motorcycles, welcome to the next chapter. And if you're here for the cars, welcome to the family. This is FEELZ Garage, and it's just the beginning.